is their 4th series.
Sure
so if they don't win this,
well, you can still get 9 points if you're 1-0-2.
Yeah. I'm saying if they tie here, is it even possible for them to take?
Well, they still have a potential 3 more points to pick up in their final game. So in theory, they can still make top 2. But
who else is in there? Is this the OG group?
This is the. This is
yeah, so it's not possible, right? If they tie this, it's not possible to catch up to OG.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're going to need to win, and still need to win the last game as well. It's a tall order, isn't it? Top 2 for them.
What's their last series?
I'm trying to think if they played, because they played Liquid yesterday, didn't they?
Have they played LFY?
I don't think
Yeah, they played LFY
no, they played
this morning.
LFY this morning. They lost 2-0.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, and they were both
LFY looked really good.
Did
games.
they?
Yeah,
okay.
They looked really good today.
I'm trying to think who they have to play in that game, because we don't have it today. Obviously, their last game will be tomorrow.
Give me a draft.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that. We've got the draft coming.
Where's Black? I see
piece.
4 Faceless, but not the one I want to see.
Where's Black?
ABBA, Mag. What else have we seen banned out in first phase?
Coddle's been dropping off a little bit because leading into this tournament, Coddle and Dazzle are really high priority.
Yep.
Dropped off a bit.
Spirit's been banned quite a lot. I think he's one of the most banned and picked heroes. I think he's still most picked. But there's been a lot of games today, so that may have changed.
I think he's the best Roman support. I guess I've seen some Monkey King today, too.
Yeah, Monkey King is still very popular as well. He was in top 3 yesterday.
Very much based on the teams, though. Some teams really like it,
I think
other
the Chinese team
teams
seems to be prioritizing it a little bit more than any of the other regions. Empire have played it a few times as well. Timber.
Wings look a lot happier before last game. I looked at the shop before and they were all laughing and joking. Now it's just back to business for them. Trying to slay some Faceless. Except Ice Ice. Still has that grin.
Always.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The
Invoker banned by Faceless, and
Yeah.
they go for a first pick Nyx Assassin. Going into like some of the DPL games, Nyx Assassin was really highly prioritized by the Chinese teams.
Yeah,
but
the Chinese teams.
we got here at DAC, and the mixture of Eastern and Western actually ended up Nyx Assassin was not prioritized.
Dude, they got wrecked by Nyx in the LFY series badly. Really badly. They do not play well against that hero, apparently. So it's good that they pick it up. Would definitely not be surprised to see it as a support. Witch Doctor.
I've seen one yesterday.
What, Witch Doctor?
Yeah.
There was one this morning too.
Was there? Yeah.
I think it's actually one of Nuts' better heroes.
Yeah, but I don't really know. Like it's like a good laning phase support, but it usually just abuses like, you know, close counter melee cores and that sort of thing.
Yep.
And we don't really have that yet, so it feels like Witch Doctor is just kind of focused on the laning phase. I don't know. It's still another one of those supports that I'm not feeling super confident about. Like if I open with like a Warlock +1 or something like that, I know I have huge team fight potential and it gives me like some sort of threatening power. Witch Doctor's just kind of like, okay, well, I know I've got some laning phase in that, but other than that, I don't feel very confident about my
especially when
threatening power.
You don't pick the first 2 together. I always feel like a team that picks the first 2 immediately have already got a plan in their head of how they want to play. Do you know what I mean?
Reading into the psychological
well, because they put the first
things.
one up, and then there's a long gap between the Spirit Breaker, and you're like, well, they're still thinking about what they pair it with.
Yeah, it says they're hesitant.
Yeah,
weak.
it says they don't really have a plan for how they want to play.
I don't think they're
trying to predict what's going to come
Maybe they
out.
even random that second pick. Maybe they closed their eyes and just...
They didn't expect
Brave.
the first pick Nyx from Wings though. Wings have not been tending towards the Nyx first pick. Like I think they're much more likely to pick like a CM or a Dazzle or something like that with a Sand King. But now they're going back to the roots. Nyx Assassin does pave the way for a Keeper of the Light.
Lifestealer just goes untouched in the first phase entirely. Wow.
It's got to be banned second, surely.
Keeper of the Light.
And why Spirit Breaker? The only time I saw Spirit Breaker so far this tournament is I think OG picked it up against an Earth Spirit, kind of like matched toe for toe.
They want to run at people, dude. They didn't run at people last game.
Time
to change things up. Fight Wings head on. It used to be you'd never really want to fight Wings 5-on-5 just because their team fight coordination was so much better. But now that they've fallen off a little bit off their pedestal, I think Faceless can tackle them that way. Pretty good running at Keeper, I suppose. Although, of course, it was picked before.
You just got to get Blinding Lighted and Mana Leak now.
Yay! That means someone else isn't getting mana leaked.
Wings also haven't established in the LFY series. Did they play it as Nyx support or offlane? Okay, because they're in the DPL games they were switching it between support and core, so that is still an opening for Wings. Though I think likely with the Keeper of the Light, it's more like we're going to run Nyx Assassin offlane, and they're going to enable that Nyx pick with Coddle going into the offlane.
Witch Doctor's not terribly great at dealing with Nyx in the offlane too.
Yeah.
Gonna get some farm.
Yeah, they'll just push out the wave, pull the hard camp. Nyx Assassin will get plenty of CS. Feel pretty comfortable.
Ban out the Slark. Slark is really good versus Nyx offlane.
And I would say ban out the Lifestealer.
Yeah, those two heroes actually cause a lot of problems for Nyx Assassin. Jug's banned out by Faceless.
Lifestealer destroys Nyx Assassin, and he has a vehicle already with Spirit Breaker on board, so.
Which is why it's a little bit strange that they're taking this amount of time over the ban.
Yeah, they can always transition to a support.
AM.
Just do like Axe or something to own it.
So you're going to ban out the AM. That does leave...
Time to out, baby!
Yeah, the Lifestealer, but you don't want to... I mean, do Faceless want it?
I don't really like Lifestealer that much just because there's no instant disable.
But would you pick it to block?
I don't think Wings really want it right now.
I think that's for the best.
Yeah.
There's so many. And you also don't want to give Wings Lifestealer third pick. I think they could have actually grabbed it. Even though it's like against Spirit Breaker, it's not fantastic. It's still...
It's a Coddle Naga time? I think it's Coddle Naga time.
Yeah, I think it's like... I think you just go heavy split pushing. I think that's why Faceless banned away the Terrorblade as well. Because they wanted the Lifestealer third pickup. Terrorblade is one of the better cores against Lifestealer right now.
Yeah, they have a good lineup to stall and just not fight the Lifestealer at all. Good base for split push and avoid. Can they potentially fight it head on though? I don't know. They have no solution for Lifestealer right now. Nothing can touch them.
Kind of like a saving hero for Wings here. You know, you got the single target focus. I don't like Dazzle and Coddle together, but
I think it's
like if they picked up like
the
the Tusk or something.
Yeah, Tusk would be pretty good again. But that means I don't know. Do you really want to pick your two supports and your offlaner with your first three? I don't know.
I mean, I guess it depends on what's out there when it comes to cores, but most of the like really well-rounded cores have already been banned out or taken. Lifestealer, Jug. There was still SF, but instead they took Queen of Pain.
Queen's not that not picked very often for Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker plus mid crushes Queen generally.
Not
I mean, what
very often at all.
Yeah, why Queen of Pain over like better scaling mids? And for me, that says like we're gonna go more like I really want some sort of space creator out of my mid. I want something that's gonna come online very quickly and makes plays, and that's usually gonna be opening for your one position, the safe lane, to be much more like it needs a lot more space. So maybe that does go back to the Naga Siren you were pointing to. Who did the Void? It was someone in China did a Void, Safe Lane Void recently.
I'd be down with Safe Lane Void.
And they had something like this where they had ranged nukers.
Void is sick here.
Yeah, it's good versus Lifestealer. It works really well with Queen of Pain. It's just a super unique pick. Nobody really gets it.
Brewmaster, even more team fight. Ha ha ha! We picked Brewmaster.
It did feel a little bit like that, didn't it? Take that.
Brewmaster really does make your life miserable. You just sit in the tornado. You're just like, am I done yet? Can I fight now?
Well, it looks like they have some cheese. I don't think you laugh that much unless you have some cheese going on here.
The Morphling. There's the big safe lane carry.
What'd you pair it with then? You put it at the end. Yeah, so the Morphling comes out. That's.
Do you get the troll battle trance if you Brewmaster ult?
You mean on your Brewlings?
Yeah.
No, I don't think
Are you
so.
sure? Because it's the Earth Brewling.
Don't know, dude.
I don't know. Maybe they have some like Brewmaster troll shenanigans.
I think Storm Spirit is a really good pickup here for Faceless.
Nyx, Keeper. Ooh.
Oh no, I forgot about Nyx. Never mind. The Keeper, like, I think it was okay, but I forgot Nyx was there. Invoker's out. SF's still there.
Shaker. Who gets Shaker? Keeper. Shaker is really good at stalling high ground, but I don't know. With your queen, you're not really terribly worried about the other team going late game against, or if you have the queen on the opposite team. They're still laughing.
They're enjoying
Something's
it.
Jolly
really
time,
funny in
yeah.
that room.
Yeah, it's gonna be a meepo.
Man,
Meepo owns queen.
Could be.
Meepo destroys Queen of Pain, but
And I got a weird feeling they might just do it.
Meepo also pretty good versus Morph. You can't wait for him out of the Earthbind.
yeah, burst
Could be-
damage
could be
always
Meepo.
preferable.
Uh,
I think you're onto something, Paul.
Cheese, more cheese.
Yeah, Meepo's actually pretty good here. But their lineup's pretty strained around it, though.
It is.
Spearbreaker or Witch Doctor with a Meepo?
Yeah, I don't think that was the original plan, was it? I think this might have been a late plan, if it's going to be a plan at all. Ooh, an Oracle for wings.
A saving hero.
Do you
Yeah,
need a
I
save?
like that.
I guess.
I think you
Well,
did.
they've got one.
I guess for the queen.
But with the cool thing about Oracle here is that he dispels the Cyclone from the Brewmaster.
Come on, let's see the Meepo. Meepo would put a lot of things in place with them. So I think it's really good versus other cores. They don't really have the burst to bring him down until Morphling gets very, very farmed.
Is there any hero that they can pick up that can win them late game?
In the mid,
Yeah, just to
you mentioned
change it up.
Storm, but I
think
don't
so.
like Storm that much.
Yeah, I don't like it versus Nyx.
I still think Troll's a possibility. It's not great, but okay.
Ooh.
PL. When I saw the Earthshaker ban, I was like, why would you ban Shaker?
Yeah.
But I
Makes
was
more
like,
sense now.
no one likes PL though. If you
Mm.
talk to any professional player, like PL's garbage,
Yeah.
terrible.
But
But
maybe just because it's Morphling and you don't want to be put into a situation, I think with this lineup, I don't think you want to be put in a situation where we have to end this game early. So that's why I was talking about some sort of scaling mid.
Yeah.
So
PL's
PL
really good versus Queen. It's one of the best matchups.
Yeah, it's
I
good
think.
versus Queen. It's good versus Morphling. It gives them the scaling that they needed.
Is it good versus Morphling? I don't know. Morphling can just replicate
it's kind of okay versus Morphling, right? Because you have the diffusal, you're burning through that, man. Any diffusal hero is going to be pretty good.
But Blinding Light, ugh. The playing Illusion Heroes versus Blinding Light is so terrible.
No.
It's really bad.
I mean, playing against Coddle in general, right, is
Yeah,
just
that's true.
terrible.
But you prefer like
It's
a
pain in the
BKB.
ass.
You prefer like a BKB hero or like Lifestealer or Jug,
Yeah,
something
Lifestealer,
like
yeah.
that. But like PL, it's not
Yeah.
easy. It'll be fun.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to let these two carry on arguing. Meanwhile, let's get over to our commentary team for game number 2.
Thank you, Paul. Back here with Fogged, of course. It's terrible. It sucks. It doesn't fit in the meta. Few things I've heard about PL, at least from some of the other pros out there, but Faceless are like, we can make it work. What do you think, though?
We've also heard the same thing about Queen of Pain.
That's true.
That's the thing. So it's
this
like
is not meta. These two teams are just really really giving it all in the draft, not afraid to kind of pick what's not really fresh, what's not in fashion. They don't care about being cool kids.
I think we're both just happy. Me and you were both looking at each other, and we saw like the Coddle coming out. We saw the Knicks getting set up. We're like, this looks like we saw the Lifesteal get picked up. We're like, okay, this is probably going to be a
Please
Naga
no.
or Alk game or something along these lines. But
We were
Wings
saved.
showing what they do best and changing it up. And I'm pretty sure that if we hear from Winter right now, which I know people always love Winter and they want to hear what it says, he thinks Queen of Pain is a total garbage hero. So he's probably in the back grinning right now like, yeah, they picked Queen of Pain.
Of course, for those of you who don't know, our boy Winter is currently coaching the Faceless squad.
Yep.
And, trying his best to give his extra, quote, insight to his team. But as was already emphasized for this series, Wings already have the one-game advantage, but it was important for both of these teams to really try to secure a 2-0 and get those 3 points. OG is currently sitting way up at the top of this group, and if any of these other teams who are all sporting currently like 3 points or 4 points, if they want a chance to claim that extra spot right up there in the upper bracket, they're going to need 3 points along the way. So Wings are probably going to be pulling up all the stops here to secure that 3 points if they want to be pushing into getting that upper bracket.
Yeah. I've been generally just a bit concerned for Morphlings in, across DAC so far, just because every time it's been picked, it's been ran at with like a dual or try aggro, and they end up having like dodge all over the place, and the Morphling is just in a very awkward position, and he's already going to get pressured by a dual lane, 2 very beefy heroes walking up.
Here's
Charge coming out.
And XY will also step in. It looks to be a bit of a 3-on-2, though. Lots of pressure on the Ice. The right clicks are coming out. The Ice
One
Frog
more.
He nerfed that right click damage. The salve does come out. Now they turn it back onto XY instead. They are able to kind of force out the early bit of regen here, but Ice will make it away with his life. Why'd you take away that 7 damage, Ice Frog?
Yeah, he would have actually been brought. He actually would have been brought down. Yep. So. Underestimating how much damage they actually have in their tri-lane right now, I believe, Faceless. They do get a nice side ward, so they do get the vision for this. Oh, XY actually cancels his own charge, instantly going on Maxine.
Mana leak point, too, coming out from Ice here to really try to stop the Spear Breaker from really kind of pushing it on in.
XY's in some trouble, but so is Y.
Yeah,
XY.
Can they trade supports here? Definitely XY going down. Ice. He cannot commit this hard. Is he really going to go for it? Waiting out the 3 seconds for the stomp? No, sir. Turns back, runs back the other way, and it is going to be Wings striking first. But he does manage to grab a hold of the aggro lane, and he's just going to take this train elsewhere. But a new Mana Leak could come out here. Yep. And, uh-oh. This could be a bit trouble.
He should be okay. Yeah.
XY's charging in. This has been... this whole game has been top lane so far. I don't even know who else is in this game.
Yeah, Faith Beyond has been just Iron Talon jungling as the... Nyx Assassin. Mid lane is Queen of Pain versus PL. Just this is a hard matchup for the not hard matchup for the Queen of Pain. It's just you can't really Shadow Strike. If you Shadow Strike, he just doppels it off. So you just wait and just Scream of Pain, push the lane in constantly. You can do just fine in the matchup.
The mid lane PL found a lot of uprising during the previous Shanghai Major, and a lot of the C teams kind of brought it into fruition here, being able to really take it to Queen of Pains, 2 Invokers at the time. And here, again, another game, another throwback here between these 2 teams. But the question becomes how much he's going to be really able to offer, in the lengthy part of this game. When he manages to get his full toolkit, is it going to be enough to kind of handle Wings, and how much CC and Blinding Lights, as mentioned earlier, that could prove to be a lot of a problem. And Jabs, though, making the most of it, at least for now, is just neck and neck in the CS game, but should be a little bit easier as the levels do begin to come in.
And when the bottles come out, it becomes a little bit tougher. Blink he doesn't have Blink skilled up. He's going to get ran down here.
Yes, he is. There he gets blasted down. And in mid lane, as you mentioned, simultaneous action as they will also take down the Queen of Pain. Yeah, just
Blink not having Blink. Didn't have it skilled. He went for the 2 in the Scream and the 1 on the Shadow Strike early on.
I guess just not anticipating he was... how can you not anticipate you're going to have pressure coming your way when there's a Spirit Breaker on the other team? But, well.
There's a DD Spirit Breaker as well. He may have actually survived if it wasn't for that.
Fair enough.
Because there wasn't a secondary Spirit Lance coming through. But now it's going to give it a PL a lead over a Queen of Pain. That's where it becomes much harder for Blink Queen of Pain. Oh, they're just going to now leave Black completely alone. Witch Doctor just is going to stop pulling as well. They're going to go for a smoke pressure onto that safe lane. Just pressure that Morphling, since the Spirit Breaker wasn't really able to from the start, since he was pressured so hard from the Oracle and keep it alight.
They do have that deep aggro ward on Wings. I don't think they saw that smoke, but yeah, here they come around. They're thinking about making a move for Ice. New Mana Leak. No more mana for him. Ooh, they do not want to get caught too far forward. And that's when the trap card is revealed. They move in for the old man. Can they bring him down? Ice will get dropped. It's going to be Ice who takes that last hit. And back and forth we go. Now 2-2 here. Top lane is where the action is, though.
Yeah, that's always the scary thing that's going to happen when you're running a pretty much exclusive jungler as your offlaner, since he can't match up versus Lifesteal because it's an atrocious lane for the Nyx Assassin. He just goes jungle. Supports are free to do whatever they really please to do.
Yep. So anticipate the pressure to be jumping between that top lane and then right back to the mid lane again. As you see here, XY happy to kind of be the bouncer for the potential 4-minute rune, but it did spawn, looks like, at the bottom. So we'll have to see if Faceless can kind of continue to take advantage of the fact that the Nyx Assassin isn't really present at the moment and pressure all of the other lanes. And as you can see, they are able to kind of snag that Arcane Rune there from the bottom. And it looks like Ice is going to go cross-country and join the bottom lane for now.
Yeah, they're getting just wards to be able to watch the charge. The one on the river is going to go down, but then the bottom one, they're going to be able to see the movement from bottom. If there's any supports down there, they're going to be able to expect the smoke rotations now with that. top lane.
Minor stun there, allows the clap, but
Burns it off right away.
yeah, too far and away right there. There is a charge in motion, yet to be canceled here, but
It was spotted.
pull
There's
off.
lots of river wards now. Another
Yeah.
river ward coming out for Wings.
Yeah, they have pretty much everything covered from straight down the middle of this map. If they see any sort of movement from Faceless, it will be red. So maybe Faceless will have to kind of continue to dish out the smokes if they want to make any sort of aggressive plays here without being spotted.
Faith Beyond's probably pretty happy though. I mean, even though he's not laning, he's just like, I am getting uncontested jungle farm. I'm gonna go mid lane, blink. All right, he's got the raindrop to let him survive from that. But yeah, Faith Beyond actually went for the double quelling blade on the Nyx to jungle. Nuts top getting gone on. It looks like he's gonna be brought down a little bit out of position
Didn't
here.
even want to move his spot. Went out like a soldier.
Y actually takes the last hit there, rather than giving it to Shadow.
I'm sure he'll hear about that one later.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, the super farm-oriented Nyx, just wanting to. He's sitting in the jungle, so he's like, why not the Quelling Blade Iron Talon?
And what? He just camps there until what? He gets that Vendetta online, and then it's time to
Yeah, wait for Arcane Boots, wait for your Vendetta. Why not?
make some action happen here. Yeah, really no one from Faceless to be able to kind of roam and peek their head through that woods.
So
and
we see
test them.
Nuts draw the line bottom for Black. He's like, all right, Black, it's enough about you holding the lane at this point. They're going to find their experience anywhere anyway, so start pressuring that tower. We're going to make the aggressive move top at the same time. Pressure two different lanes. They're not going to be able to react bottom if we're forcing top. They have to react to one of them and let the other one go.
Let's see what Faceless can do in this top lane. The charge is already out. They see why they want him. And Ice 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 is in pursuit. But then the old man pops out through the trees and hits him with a mana leak. That will stop XY in his tracks. He eats the blast.
Faith Beyond with the first rotation.
Oop, stuns there. Nice connection onto the two of them. They take the one down. Can they go for the follow-up? Anticipating the clap to try to see if they can get the counter stun, but it does not come in. Nut shows up.
Got
dishes
another
out
stun
the
in 4.
Slow down, but can they get it? Can they juke? Tries to break his ankles.
Nope. He's
Trying
gonna
to
get grabbed.
avoid and taunt, but yeah, there's no chance of getting away from this one. Ice Ice Ice. He ends up getting dropped, and it's going to be Wings moving ahead now 5-2, but a minor turnaround here as it's Jabs rotating over from the mid lane, able to get the kill on the Ice Ice. Nice pump fake to avoid the Carapace, times it out, hits him with the Lance, and with the charge and the vision, they will be able to get the finish there. You take 2 hours, we'll take 2 years.
Good reactions, good movements coming out from Faceless and from Wings. Faith Beyond being in that bottom lane, he ends up just walking. He was already going toward the jungle. He was jungling in there, so then he just makes a nice quick rotation. But Jabs and Black making massive rotations going toward top to secure themselves a couple more kills.
And it looks like now instead of actually keeping Black in the bottom lane, they're going to shove Ice 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 down there to kind of muscle up towards his level 6 and get that split online, and they will put Black up north to pressure on that front instead.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, the split is their only real team fight prowess.
And it looks
So-
like Black may be going for... Oh, no, he's got the... I couldn't see over there. It looks like the Armlet is going to be the next pickup. Wasn't sure if he was going to play this one greedy or not, but looks like he'll keep things in line. Bottom lane.
Instantly. As soon as Ice 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 shows on the map, Ice Ice follows him. I think either the Ice Ice is trying to trigger the Ice Ice Ice.
I don't like it. Can you guys separate? 'Cause I hate having to say it. Where they pepper him a bit, and he'll be able to kind of hang by his tower for now, but his mission is to kind of build up the XP where necessary. We'll have to see, though, as nice little D-wards come out from Wings, kind of reclaiming their side of the map a bit. The pressure will continue here from the Spirit Breaker or not. We have Queen of Pain now, level 6. Yet to debut that sweet and sexy Sonic Wave. I'm curious to see where her crosshairs will lie on putting some use to that.
Let's see where we want Faith Beyond to go. He's actually not going to be going for the Arcane Boots. He's going for a Midas on the Nyx Assassin, just straight up jungling, going for just
Mega Greed play.
Mega
All right.
Greed. Yep. It's what we've been seeing a lot. Lots of Midases coming out in this tournament.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
I am not too happy about it. I'd like to see a little bit more fighting. I mean, it's the thing is that there's good fighting. It's just that a lot of the games seem to be dragging on just because people are they just feel like they can just want to greed. They just want to be greedy.
You get a Midas, and then as we all know, a Midas is really at its worst right after you get it, because then you're really not getting anything else besides the attack speed and then just bursting up the extra bit of farm. So that means you need the more time, and it means we're going to be seeing more bit of passive play. But
For the late game, they have. I mean, it's Cuddle Morphling versus PL Lifestealer Panda. So they're already like we have a single core Morphling with a Queen of Pain. They need to be able to go for those type of scaling items, right? So it makes sense, at least for this situation. It's not just like, oh, we need Midas because we want to take it. We just want to be greedy. No, it's like this game is inevitably going to go for that late scenario.
Of course. Split online now for Ice. We'll see if they're going to find any opportunities there to make it work or not. But definitely a pump the brakes from both sides here. Well, as I say that, as you can see, Beyond has his Vendetta to work with. And
Sentry
maybe
gets placed mid.
setting up a kill would get that Midas that much faster. And yeah, Sentry goes mid, but he actually seems to be heading down bottom here, hoping maybe for some Panda meat.
They might be able to actually grab him here.
He's only got so much time left on this Vendetta. Can he make it across the street? No, he seems to be possibly holding off here.
They
Doesn't
do know.
quite
Look
spot
like they
him.
know he's in
They'll
there.
see him now, but he's so deep at that point. There's really no need to go that far.
Hard bring down. He has the raindrop already. They don't. I mean, once the one stun is committed, that's their only lockdown. So you'll be able to get the
Charge is
split
out
off.
though from XY onto FaithBN. He does pop the Carapace as the bomb dishes out from Black. They get the stomp. They're going to get the finish. Nyx is going to be taken down, but they also get the Witch Doctor as their own response. Nice little Fate's Edict there to avoid the extra damage from the boulder. And now Ice will be able to quickly jet away.
Yeah, a little bit of a wasted Panda ult, to be honest. He looked like he wanted to be able to get more because it looked like they were able to, but now it looks like he's going to pay with his life for it.
Tries to go for the TP, but okay, how you doing? That is the Sonic Wave coming out now, and it just decimates Ice.
Space for Jabs, at least, to claim that mid tower.
Yep. Yeah, Jab's still quietly farming his way here through this mid lane. Do you think Drums will resurface as the build for Phantom Lancer here now that Drums is kind of more of a popular item again? Or, oh, hold on, hold that thought. Nuts is in trouble. Nuts is in trouble. Trying to make it away. XY's able to step in. They charge it back forward. Black steps in, and they're going to be able to at least get the coddle down. But Nuts get dropped.
I think usually the build is just Diffusal. at
Straight
least on
Diffusal
the-
still?
Yeah,
Early
I mean,
bots, something like that?
he went already committed for the treads, and yeah, he just put the Diffusal into his quick buy.
Okay, okay.
I've seen. I was gonna say maybe he doubles back for a minus even because I mean I wouldn't put it past people right now, but I think the Diffusal is absolutely needed to be a real force. I mean that's when you get online. You get your Diffusal and then you're actually a hero basically for PO.
Ice sees his rival, hits him with the Mana Leak.
Ice is spamming that taunt on Panda.
Yeah.
Typical Ice. Good old Daryl.
Shame he dropped out of the 1v1, but understandable as he feels like, I guess according to the report, he says that it's a curse to him. Every time he plays in the 1v1, he doesn't do so well in the tournament otherwise. So stepped away from that, gave Arteezy the spot, and is now doing his best with Faceless here to try to push their way through the top part of this group stage here. But obviously already dropping game number 1 means they can only walk away from this series at most with the 1 point and hope to kind of get a couple of 2-0s after that for a better shot. But let's see here. Now in his brew, tranquiled up.
Faith Beyond in position. He's got his Midas already finished up at a good timing. Ice spamming the taunt.
I'm wondering if Faith Beyond's like, does he see me? Why would he do that?
Like, what's going on here? He looks.
see
He knows
me
something's
right now?
up.
What the hell's happening? This guy's nuts.
Oh, he takes the bounty rune from him.
Oh, okay then. Okay then.
I love that. All right. Bottom lane, looks like they're trying to just keep the pressure a little bit on Black. Shadow just matching up toe-to-toe with him, and they look like they want to be emphasizing on Ice's farm. Ice is going to be going for that Aghanims rush, of course, on the Coddle, and he's just sitting in the top lane by himself for now.
Yep. Okay, here we go. A move made by Faceless here. They spot out Y. He has the false promise, but he's going to be eating so much damage that he certainly won't be able to survive from it. They could actually lay off him by now, but Jazz wants to come on to him until the job is definitely done, and it will be done. And with that, they can segue into a Tier 1 takedown here. And obviously, it is in their best interest to continue to pressure these objectives. Wings definitely favor a longer game and have all the tools necessary to stall things out as much as possible. So pushing the envelope is of the utmost importance here for Faceless.
Faith Beyond under the Sentry Ward in the mid lane. The Sentry only has 10 more seconds, so Ice is getting maybe a little bit lucky, but it looks like Faith Beyond wants to commit for him anyway. He's going all the way in, but he gets the split off though.
Okay, turn around. Boulder stun here. Can they lock enough damage? Well, with Blink in the area, it might be a bit tougher. Right clicks, needs a bit
survive.
more. Up to the high ground, turn around, stun,
Oh.
but the Earth Band is there and slaps him down. Ice will be able to pick up that one. Oh, XY, deep dive in. Black gets the tower, it looks like, but XY will lose his life for it. Jabs on the other side.
Almost gets brought down too.
He makes it out, though.
That could have been huge if they got him as well, but still, some nice little trade-offs. The fight recap, a little bit of advantage for Wings, but they did end up claiming the Tier 1 bottom, which wasn't included for Faceless. Nuts getting bursted down by Blink, using his ultimate. No hesitation on that one. And he's going to be going for the Orchid build versus the Panda, versus the PL. Seems very appropriate.
Yeah.
Obviously now, since you can't, well, for a while now, you can't Diffusal off the silences, so it's going to be a very good pickup for them to try to go for kills. Even versus the Lifestealer. If you get the Orchid pre-rage, it's definitely the appropriate pickup for him this game.
Unfortunately for Nuts, though, trying to go a bit deep and try to get some wards down. It was, but here we see pressure coming through. Faceless happy to get the objectives done here. 3 tier 1s go down, and they're hoping to get more. But Shadow already looking like a hard takedown right now. Looks like he's going to be going straight for the Lincoln Sphere here, but Faceless aren't really privy to kind of making sure they bring him down early.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really have any catch for him, right? It's like the Spirit Breaker and a Cask to catch the Morphling. So when he has Lincoln Sphere, he's going to be really open to just being able to split push all the time, not really susceptible to getting ganked too easily.
All right. Faith Beyond creeping through here. Jab's happy to kind of take things a bit on the offensive side and work through their jungle. But this is sketchy stuff right now. Faith Beyond kind of recognizing that trouble's invading. But just continues to keep it in check. On the other side, though, Black has found an old man all alone and will gobble him up. Easy free pickings for him, and now has to avoid the response play coming up from Wings here.
He doesn't have rage TP.
And he has to wait to see if he can get the timing. 2
Nope,
seconds, 1 second. Oh, no, it was not worth it, unfortunately, Black.
For hero rotation, Jab's at least able to get a bit of space to pressure the top lane, but yeah, definitely dying is not what you want to trade for a Keeper of the Light.
Almost, though. But, hey, still pushing it here. Jabs now getting some decent damage on this tier 2.
All right. Ice 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 went back for the Midas. He had the gold for the Blink Dagger, but decided, nope.
Midas, Midas, Midas.
Greed is good.
Greed is good. Is good. But this will help him kind of going forward. Where do you go from there? What is the off-lane Brewmaster build-up from this point?
Midas, Blink, and then Auras, right? For the most
Remember
part,
the
just
days of the
Vlads and
Agnem's Brewmaster? That's just not a thing anymore, is it?
No, it's not. You benefit so much more from having the auras. It's not just for yourself; it's for your team and everything
course,
too.
of
So
course.
the Aghanim's was just it's like a pretty greedy type thing. Shadow top lane. Looks like they're trying to put a little bit of pressure on him, but yeah, he's a Morphling. They don't really have a lot of lockdown for him, so they are not feeling too much pressure. Taking a look at everything else. Keeper of the Light halfway to his Aghanims. Looks like the Oracle Y is going to be doubling back for a Midas himself. Top lane now, Nuts looks like he's going to be getting engaged on and cleaned up quite easily from that next rotation.
Quite easy indeed. He just gets
Diffuse just got picked up though.
The mana being taken away. He's going to be forced to kind of bring in the gains, and he will be able to swole up just enough. Gets a nice boost of mana there from fellow Coddle, and he feels like he's right back in fighting shape.
That's why. Oh, they get the back strike on him.
Nice.
And Black's inside there.
Uh-oh. Black's like, sorry, buddy. It was great having you as a backpack, but you're done for. Leaves him back in behind and gets the hell out of there. Wings fully converge here. They've had 5 committed to this top lane, and they're making sure that this place is cleared out.
Look at the amount of sentry wards on the map from Wings. Really emphasizing on the aggression. Literally, like, all over the place.
Nice thing going for Faceless here, I gotta say, is while this Lincoln's is about to come online, there's a lot of ways for them to pop it, even the global pop of the charge. So,
yeah.
Here, charge comes out. Speaking of which,
the cast catch him again. He's got Replicate up if he's able to get one onto
nice,
somebody.
Nice.
There we go. He's able to jump away.
Okay, very nice. Well, the charge for the Vision is still on. Are they still looking to pursue Jabs? Hoping to cut him off. Jumps right over Faith Beyond. Faith Beyond thinks about going for one of the illusions, but Jabs is on the other side. Commits with the Lance with a quick blink out from Blink. Will avoid the trouble.
Split
there goes
committed.
another strike. Committing in from Faith Beyond. He gets the False Promise, so they put their sights instead for the Oracle, throwing him up in the air. They step back. Can they get enough burst damage to finish him off through the False Promise? It looks like they can. They'll both go down. Nice hard push here for Faceless.
The cross map charge ends up working in their favor. Now they're going to be able to claim this tier 2 quite easily. So lots of map control going the way of Faceless now.
That's what you got to do against this Wings lineup. Faceless are onto it. That's just the first tier 2. Now could be taking their business to the next lane.
Just some good primal splits with like pre-Blink Dagger.
We're not seeing too much action from Blink, able to kind of find those pickoffs with Sonic Waves because we've been seeing a lot of Faceless kind of doing that buddy system.
Yeah, Blink has been kind of like prioritizing finishing up that Orchid more. He's just like, I really want to get this item. It's super important in this game for us to be able to team fight properly.
He's like, we have to do it through farm instead of kills, so be it. Well, as Faceless are able to kind of step away and reevaluate from a nice promising push through the top lane here, they can itemize that much further. Top 2 net worth currently also still belonging to Faceless at this time.
Oh, thank God. I'm so happy that Black did that. He had S and Y in his quick buy, and I was like, oh man, I really hope that he switches to a Manta because the Orchid's going to be coming out soon, and he does actually do that.
Nice.
So he's going to be able to remove that Orchid, which I think is, extremely necessary. Not only just the Orchid, you can remove the Mana Leak, a couple other things as well.
It's fun, though. Not often you get to see a Manta lifestealer in a game.
Mm-hmm.
So. In this kind of situation, though, obviously very necessary. Shadow shows himself in lane, but we have Faceless. They pocketed up Spirit Breaker, ready to charge on in with Black on his side. Wings not really revealing too many openings at the moment, but they are being watched by Faceless.
The smoke
with
comes
that
out.
ward. They smoke, and they slowly begin to stalk him here, but it does look like Wings are going to be able to make it out from any sort of potential trouble. And so off to the mid lane, Faceless go, where they want to set for their next objective towards that tier 2, I'd imagine.
Yes, sir. Ice Ice finished his Aghanims now already, so he's just been kind of chilling on his own for a while. Now this gives them a lot more team fight. They need to wait 3 minutes, unfortunately, for the daytime for themselves, but this gives them a lot more potential to not only split push, but also fight with the heal and the blinding light. Like Ben mentioned, playing Illusion Heroes versus that blinding light is pretty hard. They've gone with a beautiful Carapace. They might be able to bring down Ice here with the burst damage. They are able to.
They got him. He gets finished. And Faceless are going to have to double back at that point. But XY?
XY? Ooh!
They couldn't catch him with the Adaptive Strike.
They had thought that he had went to the right on the lower side. Blink actually blinked to the low ground. And then Shadow goes for the waveform, and he actually goes past him, so he wasn't able to get the Adaptive Strike without the vision. Wow. Missing out on a free kill, but getting the nice pickup on Ice. Now Nuts in some trouble. Faith Beyond on the prowl.
Got him.
Got him.
One hit. Help.
And
Orchid.
Splat.
And Blink's like, I'll take it from here.
And now they claim themselves to tier 2. Nice swing of momentum coming out for Wings.
All right, tower down. Faceless now the team to be pressured. Haven't seen Wings really this game able to confidently kind of move forward through any of these lanes. That's only their second tier 1 to be dropped. But that will be set to change soon. As you already pointed out, the Keeper Ags online would definitely mean that come daytime here, they can get more proactive, knowing they have the extra bit of sustain and vision.
Yeah, they're building. Wings is actually building quite a couple of 4-steps, it seems. The Nyx just finished his. The Keeper Light going to be going for one as well. So to just peel them off of peel their teammates away from that PL is going to be pretty important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the PL, even Black's Lifestealer can hold via Spirit Breaker charging on in. You need that way to kind of separate yourselves from the serious clash that Faceless do bring. Yeah,
because they already have one form of save if they get the False Promise, and if they get a couple 4-steps away, then they can actually save them with that instead of just delaying the inevitable death.
I'm very interested to see the plays here from the Oracle. You can have a lot of fun with stuff like Fate's Edict in this game. Imagine disabling jabs, and he's not able to kind of dish out a lot, but he will potentially be able to split off any Fate's Edict trouble. But if he gets caught with bad timing here, lots of utility he could bring. But over on the other side, Blink having to pressure out lanes.
They know Ice is on the high ground here. They actually get the setup on him again, and they're going to get the Orchid on him too as well. They do, and goodbye, Ice, Brewmaster. You are dead again. The Queen of Pain, unstoppable.
Yeah, it was a slow start at first. I was saying that, not able to kind of move through the lanes and get the most use out of every time the Sonic Wave was off cooldown, but waiting out for the Orchid certainly did pay off. And now suddenly the kills are coming in abundance here. Wings pull ahead now 16-11, still fall behind a bit in the objective game, but we haven't seen Faceless able to kind of push on forward since their successful engagement towards that top lane, claiming the tier 2. So now it's back in Wings' court now, and we got to see what the next power peak is going to, or power peak is going to be for Faceless to try to bring this game back in order.
Yeah, and they just got all those that big pick off and the pressure during the nighttime. So it's about 30 seconds or 15 seconds now until day, and this
he has
is where
a gem
it's going
now
to be.
Too, so.
Yeah, they're about to lock down a lot of the map control here. Blink going to be finishing up his own Lincolns as well. So, like we're mentioning, there's lots of ways to break the Lincolns, but there's not the greatest amount of catch on the side of Faceless. They do have the Spirit Breaker, but when you get your charge nullified, it can be pretty hard to really grab this Morphling or this Queen of Pain.
Faceless maybe thinking about a Roche. They step into the pit here. Looks like it may have been pinged out from Wings.
Sonic Wave is up online. It is daytime as well. They've got a smoke.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to want to do that. Faceless decide to step off instead. And we'll be able to kind of just get back to the grind of the mid lane, it would appear. But not looking to step too far from the Roche. This looks
They
like
know
something
Black
they
is
wanna go.
isolated right now at the moment. They just saw Jabs go onto the Ancient area. He's going to get
Yes.
jumped up. They don't have to use the Orchid to blow
Wow.
him up at all. They just burst him in the lockdown. And now they have the Orchid still online, but it looks like they may go for a potential Roche or just the Tier 1 tower top. See which one they want to go for here.
Wonderful job there from Faith Beyond, creeping in from behind, allowing to give Wings that bit of intel. Intel recognizing the isolation there from Black. They fully capitalize on it.
Yeah, Faith Beyond, again,
It's clutch.
doing exactly what he does for this team. Just always in the right place at the right time, getting a massive amount of vision for his team.
Faceless thinking that Wings are still hanging around here. Head back towards the Roche pit side.
Ethereal Blade almost finished up for our Morphling now, too.
Oh boy.
So they're hitting massive power peaks right now. And
frantic pings on the
man,
jab to
Jabs.
catch him with the silence, the stun. He's
Again.
done for. And they're like predators now. This is going to get to scary territory for Faceless where it feels like nowhere's really safe. The gem coming in, wiping out all the vision.
Again, Faith Beyond, just every single time, just always like reading the movements from Faceless, finding the pickoff that they need to. And now they get 3 wards down around that Ancient area and around the Roche pit. So focusing very heavily on that side of the map. And
Easy push for them.
they're going to be full HP because of the Coddle sustain after they finish up this Roche. And they can keep the aggression on, keep this going because their side lanes are not being pushed in at all either because the PL was dead this entire time. So now it's up to them. What do they want to do? The ball's in their court.
Is PL even that big of a split pusher as he used to be way back in the day with his old model, too? I mean, I don't know too many options here for Faceless to kind of get outside their base soon and be able to continue to pressure those side lanes if Wings decide to kind of, get this game moving and start crossing the river and pushing towards these Tier 2s now. I don't know where Faceless are going to be able to go and feel like they're safe. Always worrying about a Nyx on the prowl.
You can feel how pressured they are because of Jabs' item build. Like, I just clicked on him and I was like, okay, he's obviously he wants to go for the Manta style this game. It's what he kind of needs to go for, but the fact that he's going for a BKB now just puts it, it just shows like how much pressure they're under.
Yeah.
Now they're going for a smoke, looking like they're trying to go for a type of pickoff, baiting Ice 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 maybe a little bit.
Trying to
The BKB
take
is
back
finished.
the game, and the Ice Ice bait may work out for him. After recalling in Faith Beyond, they make their move in for Ice Ice, but Wings take to the low ground here. They step back a bit. They try to turn around for the stun, but the Coconut does manage to connect on the Faith Beyond between him and Blink. They now have to step away. Morphling sweeping in from behind here. They get the immediate takedown of Nuts, and now charging, rocking on to the Morph. He's going to be forced to dish out the strength here to stay alive. Sends it to the low ground to be able to avoid a bit of trouble. Stepping in is going to be Blink, dishing out the Sonic Wave. Some softening damage on for Black, but not going to be hit too hard from it. Charge on. Looking to go for Faith. He gets forced on forward. Carapace stun will knock him back. Blink moving in. His Lingus will be popped on the other side. Forced False Promise comes out from Y. Trying to dish out the final damage and manages to get the finish on the Spirit Breaker. Holding on with his last pistol life before he does pop. But no, he actually lives.
He survives as well. Now
He
Black
actually
is getting
lives.
gone on as well. The right clicks from the Morphling are enough to bring him down. The fight just going
and they call
too
the
long,
game.
and they actually
It's
just call it.
too tough. I mean, can you really blame him, though? At that point, it's just getting out of control, and Wings will take a 2-0, 3 points from this series. And suddenly, this is a team that went through 2 series, dropping both games, and I think they're now just under OG because of these 3 points.
They're at, what, I think 6 now?
Yep.
So one more clean sweep, and they will be tied up. But, wow, they just... as soon as the keeper got that Ags there too, like in that last fight, so much sustain. They're just also durable as well. The Oracle Heal, the Fate's Edict, lots of Force Staffs coming out as well.
Faith
It's just
Beyond,
too much for them to really do it. Faith Beyond again.
Recognizes that the lane matchup is not going to work. Just goes right to the jungle, gets the double Talon.
Iron Talon Claw, yeah.
Yeah, just to make sure you can get the most optimal farm. Vendetta comes online, and then he's all about making setups. And his team was right there to rally behind it. Anything you think Faceless could have done to kind of change where the tipping point began? Because it was all good for Faceless as they pushed through that top lane and took the tier 2, but nothing else came from it after that.
It was just, really tough for them. As soon as the Orchid came out, Ice got caught, I think, 3 or 4 times from it and just got bursted down, and they were just like, we can't fight without Ice. It just was pretty unfortunate position for them, but maybe they were playing a little bit too aggressive, not expecting that to come out at that time.
Well, fair enough. Let's go ahead and throw things back over to the panel now. It's going to be Paul, Merlini, and Cap. Take it away, guys.
Thank you very much. Yes, congrats. 6 points on the board for Wings after they pick up another 3 and a very straightforward second game. Let's break it down with Merlini and Cap. Ben, how do you summarize a game like that when you know it's kind of gone?
PL still garbage. His he got slightly buffed in 7.04. His illusions all give 5 gold. I think they they used to give like 20 gold, and you would just feed them constantly.
Yeah.
I would say you would feed like maybe 2,000 to 3,000 gold a game just from your illusions. But now they toned it down a little bit. But the hero still is inherently not very good. But the Spirit Lance, like the Ags, is okay. I like PL a lot. I've tried everything to make this hero work, and it is just
I think we're going to see some examples of it not working here.
You know how you like Sniper and you win pubs and they're like,
Yeah.
but you think Sniper's really good, but you're like, it's pubs. I can't even win with PL in my pubs.
Right.
Okay, so you can't win pubs.
Yeah,
you definitely
Ben Wu can't win his pubs. Then
Yo, I've tried
it's probable.
everything.
And I've watched a lot of NA players try a lot of things on
Yeah.
PL. The Aghanims was being run a lot, and it just does not seem to get the job done. It's just like you're just okay. Like you're okay for the laning phase if you have the right kind of matchup. That's good. But then it's like 15 minutes. What do you really do? The occasional lance, like that's not good enough. 25 minutes. What do you do? The occasional lance. 35 minutes. It's still kind of just the lance, you know. So you just have that for so long. Other carries are going to peak a lot harder and a lot faster at 35 minutes, or they're going to be more relevant in 20 minutes.
He just doesn't. He's not good at anything. He can't
Yeah.
do Roche. He's not good at sieging. He's not that great at split pushing. He's not that great in man fighting. He doesn't do great AoE damage. He just doesn't really do that much. And he had to build BKB this game. That was, kind of unfortunate for him. But like, even a simple orc kick could shut him down. And I don't know. The hero is just—it's not in a great place. And well, everyone like thought he was good, but they're like, oh, maybe there's some sort of build that's really good for him. Maybe you go like Ags Rush. Maybe you go Diffusal Ags. Maybe you still go BOTs. But all those builds don't work. Hero garbage. That's my conclusion.
Okay.
Blake played really
why,
well,
so
too.
the question then is left, why pick him? What did they think would happen here?
Because they didn't have any other options. Like they
Literally
honestly,
didn't have
I
anything
think
else.
they needed a scaling mid,
Yeah.
and they needed something to be able to deal with Morphling. This is an older counter, and it's not even a real counter. It's just kind of like a soft counter to have a Diffusal Blade hero.
Remember the draft when Cat was like, what core can they pick for mid that's going to scale well enough for them to win the game? He couldn't think of any. PL's...
Nobody thinks about PL right now.
Nobody thinks about PL, but it goes to show that like there's no like overwhelming core that would have been great for the mid lane. That fight, Quap had Arcane Rune too. Like she got so many spells off in the last fight. We were both surprised at the GG, but it was kind of over.
Yeah. I mean,
was that a frustration, GG?
I think you should also need to just.
We know we can't get back into it.
Yeah, I think you also just need to save your mentality. This is still just the groups,
Yeah.
and if you know you're not gonna top out your group, then it's kind of whatever, you know.
We haven't seen a lot of that early GG though.
Nope, definitely
A lot of teams have wanted to spend that time learning.
It's also because of the drafts. Everybody is drafting so that we always have a chance.
Yeah.
Right. So they always want to go to the bitter end with a lot of these heroes that scale. But this time around, Faceless, they realized the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah. Faith did more damage than everyone on Radiant side this game, which is pretty incredible as a Nyx.
Yeah.
Also, Shadow did not die. Morphling is really enabled by Keeper. Like Keeper plus, Morphling plus Wisp and Morphling plus Keeper is way stronger than Morph plus like any other support, I think.
And Oracle having a good game.
Yeah, he got a lot of kills.
Very rarely are you going to see good Oracle games, but they do come across occasionally. Sometimes you just need like a really good saving hero and Dazzles out of the pool. And you're like, well, okay, I guess it's Oracle then, you know.
What about double Purifying Flames with Chakra? Wow.
Cool stuff.
MVP?
For the series, definitely Faith for me.
Yes.
Even like when he stunned the Nexus or stunned the Lifestealer in mid and kind of started the ball rolling for them to just take control of the whole entire map. But game number 1, he was badass.
Yeah, easily. I think for game number 2, just specifically game 2, you could probably make an argument for Blink, but overall it was definitely Faith Beyond.
Yeah. We highlighted him at the start of the show and said he was the man, and he's still the man.
The team plays really well around Faith. I think like Ice is very skilled as a player, and he could be MVP if his team played around him pretty well. I don't actually think his individual performances are that poor, but just like their team is just missing something.
They're missing an Ice, honestly. That's actually what they're missing. They're missing a 4 position that gets a lot done and opens things up for your
The steady
offlaner.
hand, the man that's always there.
Yeah, Ice has a knack for knowing how to be aggressive as a 4 position. It's really cool.
Mm.
I think his Furion 4 position play was probably the biggest showcase of that. It's like he just pulled that one out of the hat and is like, let me show you what this is like, what I can do with this hero.
Yeah.
I hope you watched that game, Paul. It was great.
Yeah, it was really cool. He would just TP in so brazenly into the enemy team. It didn't matter.
I'm invincible. Here I
Yeah,
come. Fancy taking a social media question?
sure.
Yeah, because we've had plenty of social media questions. Do feel free to.
Don't worry, we're going to talk about other esports. Uh-oh, Ben.
Compare Dota 2 coach team dynamics to other esports like CS:GO.
I don't actually watch that much competitive CS:GO, but from what I understand, CS:GO coaches are in the game with them, right? And they could talk in between rounds.
They scaled this
it's
back,
been,
right?
Yeah, it's been a bit changeable in the last 12 months because originally they were all in behind them in the booths on the live stuff and actually round by round. Now it's slightly different. They are still in the booths. There was a time when they were told no more in the booths. We're getting rid of you. They are now allowed back in the booths, but however, they are not allowed to talk to the teams during the match. They have to call a timeout, but they get 2 30-second timeouts per half, so they can actually use time to speak to the team
in the middle
of the game. Yeah, they can actually pause the match at the start of a round, pull them out, 30 seconds on the comms with the coach, gives feedback. They then go back into the game. Game restarts. They carry on. So very different.
You know a lot more about this. Than
well, it's very different to Dota. Very different to Dota. I mean, we have
Yeah.
nothing in terms. Let me ask you a slightly different way. Would you like coaches to be more involved in the live element of the game? I'm
No.
not talking about pausing the game in any way. I would hate that. I think that would ruin the game for everyone. It's a much more dynamic game in the way that the ebb and flow of a Dota 2 match happens rather than a Counter-Strike game, which has natural breaks, i.e. a round ends, right? So I think that's more natural that you would have a break in the game and pause it. I would never want a Dota 2 game paused so that a coach could come into the booth and start chatting to the players. But is there an element of he could be in there on comms, maybe helping out?
No.
How would you feel about
I
it?
don't like it.
I don't like it at all because
Yeah.
I think that CSGO is something special where there are some players who are very pure in their mechanics, right?
Yeah.
And I think that CSGO allows you to be able to really elevate your play purely based off of mechanics, right? There's a large strategic element and there's certain players who take that role. Here in Dota, it's a strategy-based game,
Yeah.
right? It's based in the strategy. The mechanics are not that, if you compare other esports, right? You compare the mechanics of Dota 2 to StarCraft. You compare the mechanics of Dota 2 to CSGO. The mechanics that people pull off aren't really as amazing as what you can do in other esports because it is more of a strategy focus.
Yeah.
It's more about the knowledge that goes into things. So in that case, I want to put all that pressure, what is the most important part of Dota, on the players themselves.
Okay.
I want them to figure that out. I don't want to just get
I'm pretty sure I knew that's what you were going to say because
Yeah.
I'm of the same opinion, by the way. I would never want them in there anyway. However, let me scale it back a little bit and find the edge of where I think a coach could work, and then you can either disagree with me or agree with me, Ben. How about they're in there for the draft? And then when the draft finishes, they leave. That's it.
I
That's
think
their
they're kind
input.
of already in there for the draft. I think that's
because that's what they're helping them with
Yeah,
behind the scenes, right?
I think
They're
that
working on books, they're working on drafts, they're working on counters. If they do this, we should do this. Think about this hero. It's really good right now because of this, this, and this. They might pick this because we've looked at the stats and they've picked this 75% of the matches. Those things are already happening, right? So why not take that into the booth for the draft?
No, I still say no because the coaches help with the preparation, but if something different happens in the draft, the coach can't help you out at that point in time, and the draft is still the most important part of the Dota game. It sets the whole entire element of strategy. So if I fall back on that argument of if strategy is the most important part of Dota, therefore I want the players to have to carry that burden. If something unexpected happens in the draft, I want the players to carry that burden.
A few people
and
have
not a
argued
coach.
that, and the argument I've had back when I've argued that way has been, well, look at football. They're allowed to be on the pitch before the game. They can talk strategies. They can put them in their right positions. They can figure out what the other team might do and then place players in a certain place. But once they're on the field, it's pretty much up to them. I mean, the manager's there and he's shouting at them from the sidelines, but it doesn't really matter, does it? I mean, they're going to go. They've got to play the ball. They've got to pass it. They've got to score. Is that not a similar analogy?
You're not talking about American football? Yeah, that's where
Real
you lost
football.
me.
Yeah, I was like,
not the odd football played by men with odd-shaped balls.
I mean, that's regular sports. I can't really give a qualified enough opinion about that.
It's an interesting argument, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't really say, we should be like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
just
I'm
because
quite happy with the way it is. I think it's a pretty good place now.
I'd be okay with them being in the draft.
There is an element that is the extension of this is that once one or two teams get coaches, all of the teams feel like they have to have a coach, right?
Definitely.
So now pretty much all of the teams have coaches when they come to land. And then, of course, now there's the extra part. We want a strategist. We want a psychologist. We want an assistant manager to come. So some of the better teams, some of the more well-funded teams, are now bringing 8, 9, 10 people, including the players, to an event. And then the smaller teams come to an event and they go, well, where's the funding for all these other people? We only get funding for 6. So there's that whole argument about how much money should we get. That's a dangerous road to go down, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah. I think
6 is good, isn't it?
I think
if
it is
Valve
kind of...
or DAC or PGL, whoever, offer you money for 6 people to come, I think that's good.
I think 6 is fine. I think already, even with 5 people, you have so many dissenting opinions and just too many things going on, even in game.
Can you imagine playing in a team of 10 where they decide?
It would be awful. I'm like, I would have to mute like my own coach. I'm like, dude, I just want to play, man. Come on.
All right, let's take another social media question as well. Do please continue to put the questions into the Reddit thread and also on social media via Twitter if you want to as well. Why is Lena mid more viable now and played only by Chinese teams? It's not only played by Chinese teams. We've seen it a little bit, but mostly Chinese teams.
Yeah, I think Lena is a lot more viable than Talents. Were a pretty big change. Being able to have a minus 30-second respawn time at level 10 is pretty big. So what we're seeing a lot of the Chinese teams adapt is they pick up this Bloodstone, and this is a fighting hero that is pretty low cooldown and can always kind of go, and is oftentimes the first target in a team fight when it's a core. So the enemy team tries to jump on it or something, and when it dies, like say it doesn't even get anything off, at least it still has the impact of like the Bloodstone healing the rest of the team up, and also he's going to be back in like 5 seconds. In fact, with Bloodstone, it's oftentimes instantaneous. So I think it's just like a very active core that does a lot more for you than say the other active cores that we used to see but aren't fitting into the meta, such as the Queen of Pain. Right? I think the Queen of Pain is in an awkward spot. The Lena is just like supersized because of this minus 30-second respawn time, and then it also transitions really well into a right-clicking core now because of the level 20 and level 15 talent. Level 15 is damage, and level 20 is attack range. And then level 25 is a Fiery Soul, actually. So that's another, like, you actually turn into a right-clicker.
Yeah, if you can get there.
It's one of those heroes that got buff after buff after buff, and then it wasn't, like, suddenly viable. It was slowly viable, but teams actually just started picking it. Oh, my God, this hero's amazing. Just like Centaur just, like, keeps
I used to go back to TI, and it was completely unviable. I mean, it's one of the few just didn't get picked.
I think it was viable, but, you know, it's like Shadow Shaman is viewed as, but eventually the hero gets enough buffs that the hero's really, really good.
Do you think the pros stop playing them and wait for them to have like several buffs before they bring them back, because they know that once they do bring them back, they actually hooray, we can go and have some fun with her now. She's not quite at that level.
I don't think anybody's sitting there just like, no, not time yet. One more buff.
There's
and then
a
I'll
secret
pull it
association
out.
I should tell you about of team managers who are all in WhatsApp groups going, don't pick Lena for another 6 months. We'll get lots of buffs.
PL pickers are probably like that now.
They probably will.
It's like, I don't want to pick PL now. I'm just going to wait until he's just trash. No one picks him, and then he's going to be awesome. He's going to be awesome soon.
He prays because
6 months from now.
Because he's searched for everything else, trust me, to try and make PL viable. We are headed to a break. When we come back, OG will be in action. This time they'll be going up against the young boys from LGD. We'll see you soon.